From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow, of every style and creed. And you can bet your socks that ETX rocks, ETX rocks.
Hey guys, Boston Chris here with the #1 resource for independent music in Northeast Texas. It's the ETX Rock Show, and we're on episode 305, featuring the one and only Ariana Ortiz, all the way from Little Elm, Texas, which is what, like northwest of Dallas, right? A little bit.
Yeah,
it's up near Wichita Falls, kind of almost. Right?
It's like an hour away from Wichita. It's kind of like by Frisco area.
Okay.
So it's like 15 minutes away.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with us. So Ariana has been recommended to us by several artists from the DFW area, and that's how I got onto your radar. And one of the first things I've noticed about Ariana is the incredible vocals that you bring to the table. And you guys are going to see that here in her first song. This is called The Whiskey Goes Down Smooth.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the song.
Basically, it's just pretty much being... You're trying to get over something, and, you know, it just keeps reoccurring. And you're just like, I just have to have... A lot of people have different vices and stuff, and for that particular period when I wrote that song, that was my vice. So I was like, I just need some solid whiskey to just wash down the pain. And
well, it's funny because as I'm listening to the song, I get the message that at least a whiskey is always smooth. Like, I can count on that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
that's pretty much what it was, because you know, if you have a vice or have something that's kind of like your go-to, like, don't worry, I always got this kind of deal. So
that's the only thing you can depend on.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, guys, it's live in the ETX Rocks living room for the very first time. It's Ariana Ortiz with The Whiskey Goes Down Smooth. Y'all check it out.
it's probably for the best. That we don't talk, but I still get this awful feeling like I'm doing something wrong. Don't ask if I have a date tonight. I don't want you to call, 'cause I might be tempted to leave him. I'll be right back where I always fall. So I gotta try and put this out of my mind. No, I don't want to hear from you. I pass the time with loneliness, but the whiskey always goes down smooth. I'm down to my last bottle. Got distracted and I forgot to buy cigarettes. And this bubble bath I'm taking ain't gonna fix this broken heart all by itself. So I gotta try and put
All right, so we are back again. It's episode 305. We're sitting with Ariana Ortiz for the very first time on the show.
Super excited to be here.
And man, I've got a lot to ask you. First of all, I gotta know about the voice because man, one of the best I've heard in the state of Texas.
Oh my gosh, that's a compliment.
So I mean, how long? I guess how long is not the right question. When did you know that you had such a dynamic voice?
Well, I'm still waiting for that realization, I guess.
Well,
but no,
realize it, girl.
I've always sang. My mom tells the story as far back as when I couldn't talk, is when I would sing in the back seat. But the first time I basically remember being like, I want to be a singer was I was 6, and I went to my first concert, and it was Martina McBride.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't remember anything about the concert. I just remember basically like going down there, and I remember the concert, and then I was obsessed. I was like, I want to be in her fan club. I want to do this and all this stuff, and totally obsessed with her. And I would try to sing Broken Wing, which she holds this like long note, like 20 seconds long or something. And at 6, I would just try to be like, just trying to hit the note, and I never could. And But yeah, basically it's just, I'm still, I can hit it now, but that started the trajectory of
one thing as a listener that you notice almost immediately with your songs is how you're all over the place with your vocals. I mean, not pitch-wise, but just, different levels, different octaves, different keys.
I try to do, I did choir from freshman year to high school, or to the senior year in high school. And I love the dynamics of that, and I was classically trained as far as that goes. So I was very much, I'm very much just involved in the listening portion of if I was listening to my voice. I hate when it's just so loud and one. If you're like always on 10, that is like the worst, and it's bad vocally too because it strains your voice a lot. Later on in life, so I try to. Sometimes I write songs that are on my lower register. Sometimes I write them on my higher. And I try to write them in the middle. That way there's room to either grow or if I want to kind of come down. That I have room,
How often do you listen to yourself?
Oh, gosh. Never. Never. That is like the worst is to hear you. I mean, I will if I need to. I don't really edit when I write. So,
It is what it is.
Yeah, like Whiskey Go Down Smooth, I probably wrote, I'm a really fast writer too, so I probably wrote that in like 20 minutes maybe. And it's very rarely where I'll go back. I still handwrite all my lyrics and stuff, just so I can remember them and learn them, But, it's very rarely that I'll go back and just be like, oh, okay. So that would probably be the only time where I would listen if I was, trying to do a set list or... but mainly it's just me practicing.
It's incredible that you can, you have that kind of dynamic range within your songs without actually going back and picking it apart.
Yeah, I try not. I think, the most organic writing to me is when you do it in the moment and you don't edit, It's kind of like... It's kind of like when you wake up, like, what's your mood going to be today? You just have to go with the first mood, and then that starts off your day, You don't really go and just be like, okay, should I feel sad today?
Otherwise,
should I feel
it's
happy?
misplaced emotion.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And so I try to, especially with my songs and my lyrics and stuff, I know that that's the most organic it's going to be, was in that moment while I was writing it.
Right.
So
we're talking about a huge country... backwoods kind of sound to your songs.
Yeah.
Very Texas feeling, I feel,
That's
obviously.
So cool. Yeah.
But Martina McBride is not what I hear when I hear you and your style of music. I hear Waylon and that old style of almost like the outlaw movement from the late 70s.
Yeah.
So where is that vibe coming from with you?
My dad, I definitely have been influenced by all kinds of music for sure. My dad is definitely the one who listens to, Waylon and all those guys, Merle and all those, and my grandpa did as well. So we're very musically influenced family as far as like listening to music all the time. And so, I mean, that might be some of those influences. For me, I just try to do like the lyrics, and I don't claim to be a guitar player at all. So I just kind of like fiddle around and try to find something that matches what's in my head. So
yeah, we were saying off camera how important lyrics are to you. The lyrics kind of lead the way for you in your music.
100%.
You know, you talked about Martina kind of getting you into the music.
Yeah.
Martina's not really known as much of a songwriter, though.
I know.
So where did that kind of come from, you know? Because it's one thing to be, you know, hey, I want to be a singer.
Right.
You know, but then to take the extra step and being vulnerable as a songwriter.
I think
where'd that step
I don't think there was
materialize?
really like one instance where, you know, I wasn't really familiar with all the great songwriters, to be completely honest, until I started into the music, until I was already doing it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when I was a kid, you know, that was like my outlet, you know, to kind of speak my truth without anyone saying, like, you shouldn't feel this way, you shouldn't, you know, do this or whatever. So it was kind of like, I started off writing poems. So I would write poems, and I did that, and it wasn't until probably I co-wrote with a good friend of mine in high school. We were 16, 17 or so. So I started out co-writing. Mm-hmm. I didn't play guitar at all. I still don't even know how to play the songs that we wrote together because I'd never learned them. And she played guitar, and I had always wanted to learn guitar, you know. And so a year later after that, my mom bought me my first guitar, and I kind of went to like 2 lessons. The guy was like, all right, this is A, this is B, da-da-da. So I said, okay, and...
She already knew more than Elvis.
And she, my grandpa, who also played guitar and bass back in the day, he gave me like a guitar chart, which I never looked at, but I just hung it on my wall, and because I was like, I don't know what this all means, you know?
It means you're a musician now if you have a chart on your wall.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, and I actually never even called myself a musician until I started playing shows, which was 3 years ago or so. But yeah, I just I learned how to play guitar, and then probably even still it was, I think, like 3 years after that when I started writing.
Wow.
Like putting, you know, I try to learn other people's songs and stuff, but that just kind of makes me nervous.
Yeah.
I don't want to like screw it up, you know.
Right.
So yeah, I think I wrote my first song in 2013, and then I didn't write, or no, 2011 maybe, and then I didn't consistently start writing until 2013, and then I've just pretty much been
basically
writing.
5 years.
Yeah.
Incredible. All right, so you're talking about being a performing artist, which is, you know, there's an evolution process here for every artist. You know, you're either a singer or a player at first.
Right.
It's always one or the other. Somebody considers himself a player or a singer.
Yeah.
You're the one that considers yourself a singer, not a player.
Yeah.
So you're a singer, then you're a songwriter, then you're a player, then you're a performing artist.
No, I wouldn't even say that, because, well, I would say that before I started writing. I would say that I was a singer and then a player, or I guess, but I don't know, because once I became a songwriter, like once I started writing my own songs, it was like my whole life was just like expanded, you know what I mean? And it was really just like I just knew certain things had happened in my life to like get me to that point, you know what I mean? Like, you know, my first concert, and then like me starting to co-write, and then me learning guitar, and then, you know, personal stuff in my life happening, and then me starting to write, and I actually I didn't play my songs for anybody. Like my dog, my mom, and the walls was like it, you know. And
that sounds like a country song right there. My mom, the dog, and the walls.
I mean, it's the truth. That was the only people who heard my songs, and because I don't know, I was just like embarrassed or nervous, or I mean, I don't know. And
see, that's where I was going with this, because you have to go from that bedroom songwriter singer to performing for strangers. So what was that like for you?
Well, I have severe stage fright, to be completely honest, and another one of those kind of like defining moments was my senior year when I had just learned how to play, and my music teacher really was kind of one of those people who super encouraging, and I mean like the sweetest person you've ever met kind of person, you know. And she would always sign me up for like these solos because I would never do it. And she signed me up for one of these solos, and I had just learned how to play guitar, and she was like, yeah, Ariana Ortiz singing and playing, and I was like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I totally
Did they ever
got
find her body?
I got laryngitis like the day of. I didn't practice.
Yeah, sure.
No, swear. I could not talk, and then as soon as I stepped on stage, I like forgot the words, but I like played it off and then kept on doing it. So it's like that moment helped me when I became a performer, because I was like, okay, if I can do that, you know.
Yep.
But I mean, I started off. I love to do the song swap deals, so when I started playing out, I mean, that's really just what I did. I would song swap. I wouldn't play a show by myself. And then I started thinking, I was like, well, if I'm really going to do this, then I need a book by myself, because I didn't want to get like in the groove where I was relying on other people, you know?
Yep.
And so I booked one show by myself, and it was the longest show I've done, even still. It was like 4-hour show or 3 hours or something. I think it was 4 hours or something like that. And I was sick. It was outside. It was cold. I was probably at like 50% vocally and just feeling good wise and stuff like that. But I did it, and it was great. You know, I called some guy up there, and we always make up songs and stuff like that, just, you know, dumb songs or whatever. And I saw this guy like going like this, and so I knew he was a guitar player. So I called him up there, and I was like, hey man, like, you play guitar? And he was like, yeah. So I had an extra one, because I always bring an extra one, you know, just in case any of my buddies show up. Well, you could pass the baton, you know, give yourself a rest. And so we came up there, and he was like, I play the blues. And I was like, well, I don't know how to play the blues, but I can sing them. So he just like did this thing, and I like made up this song about him and his wife and all this stuff.
Our made up blues song.
Yes, I love the blues. I love to sing the blues. Can't
Have you ever
play
heard
them.
Miley Cyrus in the key of blues?
No.
You will after the episode.
After that, okay.
I
look forward to it.
It's pretty good stuff. But yeah, we're sitting here with Ariana Ortiz. It's 3:05 on the show here already. We're in our 4th calendar year, season 4 of the show as well. Appreciate everybody tuning in to so many different episodes, so many different artists, so many different songwriters in the state of Texas. And DFW area here. Are you born and raised in that area as well?
No, I would say I was raised there, but no. I was. My dad was in the Navy, so I was born in San Diego, and then we bounced around a couple
Navy brat.
coast to coast. He wasn't in there as long for me to become a brat. No, he was in there for about 8 years.
I bet you your mom would answer that question differently.
She wouldn't say I was a brat. I was
Just so
good.
you guys know, her mom is going.
I was a good kid until I was an adult.
Very cool, very cool. So, you know, we've listened to 3 songs from her. You'll hear all 3 of them on the episode, but everything that you write is personal experience. How do you find that connects to an audience, typically, for you?
I mean, really, I don't want to say I don't think about it, but I just try to write. I mean, like I said, for me, it's like therapy. So I just write whatever, you know, is going through my head. I would say like 95% of everything I write is personal experience. But also it's like other people's experience. Mm-hmm. So I bring that into it as well. So even if it's not like my truth, it's, you know, someone else's, you know. And so I kind of think about that as I'm writing, just to try to give it a different perspective, you know what I mean? But as far as when people get affected by it, I mean, to me the best compliment is when someone cries. Yeah. So, which I don't look at anybody when I sing, typically.
I usually just, you know, cut onions everywhere I go.
Yeah, I just hold some up, actually.
Yeah, that's a smart move.
I just like, here, everyone. Yeah, it's perfect.
And I've always heard that if you have like an audition in a place you really want to play, you just bring some onions. And everybody in the place cries, and they think you have an emotional connection.
That is
and boom,
perfect.
you're booked.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I'm telling you. See, life hacks.
Solid advice.
Yeah, life hacks right there.
onions. Life goals.
Dude, it's okay. It's all right.
It's quite okay.
It's all right. I know, it's a powerful
Everyone's like,
lyric.
oh
I know.
Yeah, I think there's only a couple, really only one that everyone cries at, pretty much. It's a song called Lifetime, but yeah, that's really the one that gets everyone.
Yeah.
It's about like Alzheimer's and which is the story itself is a totally made up story. My mom was she was reading this James Avery Mother's Day catalog.
Okay.
And she started with this story about this lady. I had just played her a new song, and she started with this story about this lady who had like worn off the engraving in her on her necklace. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I just kind of was like fiddling around, and so then I went upstairs, and like 15 minutes later I came down and I was like, here you go. Here's the story.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the story like wrote itself, really, but yeah, basically.
What's it like being in that moment?
In the moment,
When you're inspired, when you hear something and you just have all these thoughts jumbled in your head.
I just hope that I have like a guitar and a recording, something to record it with, because otherwise it'll be like Squirrel, you know.
Yeah.
I'll have an idea and then I'm like, damn it, you know,
see
like
a
where'd it
shiny
go?
thing and it's over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
See, for me, pizza. That's what does that to me.
Yes,
you know?
I love pizza. Pizza is my week. Pizza, whiskey, and candy. I'd be set for life. And my dog. I'd be set for life.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Well, you need your mom on the walls, too.
Well, yeah, true. But that's a given. That's always going to be there, you know?
Yeah. So Ariana is going to play us another song. Now, The Rambler is a little bit different than the first song.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's still about Ariana, though.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Tell us a bit
Yeah.
about the song.
I wrote that a couple years ago. I was very much in a mood where I just wanted to like hit the road and just like leave, you know. It was a lot of stuff going on in my life, and I just really kind of basically wrote my second record, you know. I mean, all the songs I just wrote about just like being on the road, leaving, or you know, seeing the country, and I love being on the road and going places and just, you know, just a stretch of road. And I'm like, okay, great, I'm set, you know. So, yeah, it says, and also, you know, it says in the beginning, it says, being 25, I can't blame it on being young anymore. Society tells me I should be a wife. So
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Mexican, so that's kind of basically, you know, I was raised to be a housewife. And, you know, I'm 27 now, just about to be. And,
Bucking the train.
Huh?
Bucking the train.
Yeah, so I'm just like, you know, I don't know if that's in it for me, you know? So it kind of, I mean, I didn't set out to write it like that, but yeah, I mean, I basically, same thing. I wrote that song super fast, too. Probably like 15 minutes, and I was just like, you know.
It's crazy you can be that lyrically sound in 15, 20 minutes.
I feel like it's just a bunch, just think of like a pinball, you know, and it's going everywhere. I feel like that's how it is.
You're talking about like a moth when it farts.
I mean, you know, not that direct, but maybe when it's like crop dusting. I don't know about farting fully, but like
moth.
Exactly,
Yeah, okay.
Because it like lingers, you know, and
yeah,
everything like that. So I think it's perfect. Yeah.
We're talking about The Rambler, guys. The song by Ariana Ortiz, performed live right here in the ETX Rocks living room. Y'all check it out.
Being 25, I can't blame it on being young anymore. Society tells me that I should be a wife, but I don't even see that working for me in my next 5-year plan. I was born to live a rambling kind of life. Well, it's always been a dream of mine to hit the road, and this old guitar has become my best friend. I'm still trying to fix the mistakes I made in my early 20s, Wanna feel the rush of the wind. Wanna roll with the windows down. Wanna stop at every small town and just look around and get right back down the road. Well, if you wanna hit the road, people assume you're running. I can't confirm or deny if that's the truth, 'cause it's easier not to question them, but assume what they'd mean. You just gotta do what's best for you. So wanna feel the rush of the wind. Wanna roll with the windows down. Wanna stop at every small town and just look around and get back on down the road. Wanna feel the rush of the wind. Wanna roll with the windows down. Wanna stop at every small town and just look around and get back on down the road. And just look around, get back on down the road.
All right, so we are back with episode 305. That was The Rambler by Ariana Ortiz. And so if people are hearing about you for the first time, where can they follow along with the journey? I know you're a throwback when it comes to social media.
I'm trying to be better. I really am. But yeah, you know, sometimes I don't always succeed in that. But they can find me on Facebook. I think it's Ariana Ortiz Music.
Yep,
I believe. Is. Okay, perfect. I love how you know and I don't. You know, I shouldn't have...
It is Ariana Ortiz Music, and we'll link that Facebook in the description below.
Or a postcard.
Or a pigeon. Carrier.
Just get an owl.
Carrier pigeon. Yeah, owl.
We live in Hogwarts. Just get an owl.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. It's Ariana Ortiz Music. So we were talking off camera about whether you have music available online, and I know people are going to wonder that out there. So is that on the horizon?
It is. I think you ask any artist what they're doing, they say I'm making a new record.
Yeah.
So, but I think I have like the next 3 already written, so that's good. So the material's there.
Now you just need the money, right?
Yeah, you just... So I had it set up, and then I had to kind of put it on hold, and so we're getting back on track, though.
Good.
So, yeah.
Because we've got to have some of that.
Yeah.
There's nobody quite like you on the scene here in Texas.
Thanks.
You know that, right?
You know, people don't take compliments well.
Well, I know. That's called humility.
I know.
And it's okay to be humble. Just ask Mac Davis.
Yeah, you know, and I put deodorant on, so as I'm sweating, at least it smells good.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. It's I'll leave that one alone, folks. Yeah, I sure will. But it's Ariana Ortiz Music on Facebook. Hopefully we'll have some music fairly soon from her. I know she has lots of songs written, and we're going to put her sneak peek song at the end of the episode as well. That's called She Ain't the Lady Kind.
It is.
Which is an incredible song. It'll take you back to like the late 70s, early 80s. Outlaw kind of song.
I love it.
Honestly reminds me of like Loretta Lynn.
Oh, I love it. I love Loretta.
Yeah, it's I love the vocals. Your voice is one of my favorites in the state of Texas.
You.
I really enjoy listening to
that.
you sing. And I can't say that about a lot of females in this state.
You know, believe it or not, I enjoy the male vocals. I do. I love the empowerment of females, but I write with a lot of males.
The females are making a comeback here in Texas.
We are. I'm glad.
It's really cool to see. I mean, dozens of y'all making a wave.
I definitely have my favorites for sure. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. There's a couple up there.
Yeah, But it's Ariana Ortiz Music on Facebook. Make sure you're following along. It's completely free to do that. Just hit the like button. She's not going to charge you for that unless you hit the button twice. And then it's what, like $50 that you charge?
I would say $52.
$52.
Yeah.
Which is just to cover taxes.
Right, exactly.
So don't hit the button twice because that's a lot of money. Just
All right. $51.50.
$51.50.
We're doing a sale right now.
Yeah. She's doing a sale to make you unlike. Good stuff. No, don't unlike. Just hit the button once. I definitely want to thank you and your family for coming in and hanging out with us today. And guys, if you're watching the ETX Rock Show for the first time, I want to thank you all for hanging out with us. You can follow along with us. We're located on all social media at ETX Rocks. Heck, Google us, ETX Rocks. We're everywhere. We're even in Vatican City. The Pope listens to us, y'all.
There you go.
The Pope ain't ever wrong. Actually, he is, like twice. Never on a Sunday, though. That's true.
Well, same thing with time, right?
Yeah, time's right at least twice a day.
Exactly.
Broken clock.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, yeah, just Google us, ETX Rocks. If you're watching on YouTube, we definitely thank you for that. But make sure you hit the subscribe button wherever you're watching or listening. Subscribe, follow, like, all of those little buttons. I guess there's bells located on YouTube now, too. You wouldn't know that.
Yeah, but, yeah.
She's like a 20th century kind of.
Yeah, I'm like a postcard person.
Yeah, postcard. So they still have like post offices for you and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exclusively.
Are you still
for
that
me.
person that's looking for a payphone?
No, I'm not that bad. Okay, but I do. I mean, you joke, but I really did. I just got my first computer, like what was it, 2 years ago or something for Christmas, like. And I still find new stuff.
One hell of a party, right?
I mean, it was wild. I spent about an hour just trying to figure out how to turn it on. So, I mean, it was a situation for sure. But it was an accomplishment.
It didn't lead to a 911 call, did it?
Any new development on my computer is an accomplishment.
Cool.
And it's a instant gratification.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Oh my God.
It's very exciting. Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff. Throwback, guys. Throwback. Yeah. She's not playing the part. She really is a throwback.
I really am.
So we definitely appreciate you guys tuning in today. As we've said on the show for 305 episodes now, we want to thank you guys out there for always supporting live music of all genres and all styles. And don't ever forget,
ETX rocks!
That's right.
They probably need to be
From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow, of every style and creed. And you can bet your socks that ETX rocks, ETX rocks.